Hi, this is Trevor Conkergood. Welcome to Sunset Stitches. Today is Free Font Friday for January the 17th, and our latest free font of the week at Sunset Stitches is called Valentine Voice, and you can download it now. It's the latest font from Sunset Stitches, and it's a cool script style font. And I want to give a quick shout out to my son Nicholas Conkergood, who created the font for me. And so we can all get it and download it anyway. It's great to see you guys. And we always like to go live on Friday and just post a little bit of an announcement about the latest free font of the week and perhaps a little bit of news about what's going on at Sunset Stitches. And so the latest news would be that I'm not actually currently in Sunset Stitches. I'm pre-recording this week's video because I will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Where's my Chattanooga, Tennessee patches? We're going to be making patches in Chattanooga, Tennessee this coming weekend. And I designed a bunch of them for those guys. It's going to be a fun time. But I'll be back in the office next week. And so you can look forward to catching me live on Friday the following week if you want to. But as always, if you did catch the video and you want to leave a comment, it's nice to know that you guys saw it. So just leave a message that says, "Hey, Trev, thanks for the font," or "Hope you had fun in Chattanooga." Or maybe you're in Chattanooga and you want to say how much fun we had at the event or whatever. So anyhow, that's the latest news from me. I'm going to bring my screen larger for a moment here, just so I can show you guys a little bit more about the font, what it looks like. First of all, it's the fifth number. Wow, 53 fonts that we've released here since last year. And, keep on going. We'll have a new one next week. Anyway, it's a script style font. It's very thin in some spots and then thick in some spots. And so it kind of has a small sweet spot. If you look at this one here, it says suggested sizes. It's not really going to be easy to use this one much smaller than 1.5 inches. If you want to use it as small as 1 inch, you're definitely going to need to use pull compensation to fatten up the skinny parts, because you'll see right away if you try and use it at like 1 inch tall that the skinny parts start to seem a little bit too skinny and they won't embroider nicely, but the flip side, if you go much bigger than 2 inches, well, then the fat side starts to get too fat. And of course, there's ways to deal with that because, if your column width is getting too wide, we can use the satin split. And that's what Nicholas has done on this sample here. You can see how the fat part of the S is split, but the smaller sort of thinner part is not. And so that is basically a setting, if you're in your Floriani software and, you measure with your ruler and you're like, okay, how wide is this column anyway, right? And it says 7 millimeters, and really you can go up to probably 10 without too much trouble. There might be certain spots where it gets fatter, kind of measure around, try and find the fattest place in your text. But if it gets to be too long, like if you want to use these texts larger than I have now, so right now I think they're, that's about 2 inches tall right now. So if I wanted to use it much bigger than that, these columns become kind of fat. If you were to select the Valentine Voice and try and make it, I don't know, let's do 75, which would be 3 inches tall. And then you'll see what happens. I'm probably going to get a warning that says, you've made some satin stitches that are kind of fat. So here's the warning right here. And essentially, they're so fat, they're missing, only the skinny parts are showing up now. That's where, if you want to keep using the font, then you come into your properties box. And what I would do is go on the purple star and maybe try a pattern fill, and that would smooth it right out, and it'll also bring all the stitches back that are missing because they're really there. It's just the software showing you that your satin stitches become too long to be suitable. And so I made it a pattern fill. So there, with the pattern fill, it's going to be more like a fill stitch. So that means it'll be suitable at any size. If you wanted to do what I was saying about a split satin, that's different because this kind of puts needle points all the way across the shape. If you go back to, so in the properties box, to make that, you would set it as a satin, not a pattern fill. So you would, your type of stitching would be satin. But there's another tab in here that's over to the right. It says splits. And when you go on that one, it's turned off currently, but I could turn it to, for example, a middle split. And then I get to say what's the minimum and what's the maximum. So maximum means how long can it be a satin before it has to split? So 2, well, that's not very long. What if I did 5? And then minimum, don't make anything smaller than 2. That would be nice. So now when I say okay, it's going to split down the center of the fat part of the V and up to a certain point here when it'll start to not split it because it's too, now at this size, I can see that even though I'm splitting it in the middle split, it's still too long, so in that case, then maybe pattern fill really is the best choice. But if it was kind of a little bit in between, so maybe not, as quite as large as I made it that time, but somewhere in between, then this middle split becomes sort of more suitable. And you can see, because it looks nice all the way down to here. But then if you're getting splits in the middle part, so at 5, it's splitting all the way down. If you didn't want it to split, all the way down, you could change that to be a smaller number. Maybe it's or a bigger number, probably 6. And it'll not split. There you go. So see, I'm now it's going up to there, and that's when it gets to be 6 and it starts splitting. So yeah, maybe the answer is 7, and you can kind of just type in, and basically it's very visual. You can kind of see by turning on these settings what you're getting. So now I can see, it's splitting here. Still splitting a little bit there, but it's about the column width really is when it comes down to it. And so if you like that effect, this sort of satin split, then you could use this font at any size. Anyway, I often talk about what's unique about the font of the week, and is there anything we need to know to be able to use it and kind of get the best use out of it. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring me back full screen again. I'm having a great time in Chattanooga, but I will be home next week. And so if you catch me next Friday live, we can chat. But in the meantime, I'm so happy that you guys dropped by to visit for, Free Font Friday here at Sunset Stitches. If you haven't heard, the latest font is called Valentine Voice, and it's kind of a larger one. You kind of need to use it around, 1.5 inches tall is the sweet spot, I would say. If you use it in that 1.5 to 2 inch tall, it's going to look really great. So yeah, just in time for February is coming up next month, so you might want to use the Valentine Voice. Okay, so I'm not here with you guys live. It's a pre-recording. I'm actually in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The truth is I'm planning to go live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, probably on Thursday, but perhaps from the event. But I usually like to do it on my setup day because, during the event days, I'm pretty busy and I just don't seem to have time, or I forget, or I'm just really more focused on the people that are there. Yeah, so sometimes I'll go live, pre the event in the morning and give a sneak peek of what the place looks like, but it's always fun to see inside of a new sewing store. And so I guess if this is Friday the 17th, then the chances are I did that yesterday. And if you want, you can look backwards on my Facebook and watch the video. Anyway, enjoy the free font. I hope you had a wonderful day. Thank you so much to everybody who watched this video. And until next time, have a great day and bye for now.